How's it going, everybody? We're here in the lab today. My name's Tim Grillo. I'm the engineering manager, and we're here to share some of our one of our exciting new products with you guys. We've been working on this for quite a while now, and I actually have the engineer that developed it with me, Coy Hudnall. Coy is going to go over exactly what this product is and how it's going to help you guys, and how it's going to improve your guys' LS swap solutions. So Coy, tell us what this product is that we're looking at.
This is Holley's new mid-mount accessory drive system. It's a brand new setup, and I think that a lot of people are familiar with the high mount accessory drives that we have, and then we have recently released the low mount accessory drives. This accessory drive is different in a lot of ways, but it shares a lot of the commonalities to those. The high mount accessory drive system, one of its beauties is has great clearance to swap applications, and you know Holley's all about the swaps. And with this one, we have that clearance as the high mount does. The low mount has great visibility to the engine, and so you get to see your horsepower instead of looking into the accessories. This one shares that benefit, so that's kind of why we called it the mid mount.
Okay, Coy, people are familiar with LS accessories. Let's talk about what's different about this one. Most LS accessories, everything kind of bolts to the engine. And to what's different about ours? Tell them, we got some exciting new stuff here.
In the aftermarket, this is the first accessory drive system that has no spacers, it has no adapters, it has no brackets. It's a bracketless system.
So what we've actually done is we've actually taken and developed our own water pump that the water pump is actually the center of this accessory drive.
It's the heart of it.
So it's the heart of the accessory drive. So everything bolts actually to our water pump.
Directly, all accessories bolt directly to the water pump housing. This allows us to further pull this in and make it compact, which is a visual benefit. It's also a huge installation benefit. There's 2 or 3 ways you can put it together. You can put the water pump on and then build the accessories around it on installation, or you can put it all together and then just set the whole thing on there and bolt it right on, but get some help if you do that because it's a little bit heavy.
All right, well, let's talk about a little bit about what comes in the kit. So there's a lot of pieces and parts in this. It's a very, very complete kit that's going to make it very user friendly, so for installations and things like that. So let's jump over here and kind of look at the parts.
All right.
Let's start with this casting that we did. So we developed this water pump casting, and it's our own unique water pump casting. So Coy, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Now, this is a complete system, and it is as complete as you will see out there. So we start with the water pump. Now we call this a manifold, water pump or water manifold, and it is again the heart of the system. So you see everything would mount to that. Now, so the water pump is this cartridge style water pump. This is actually similar to a GM design that's on the brand new Corvettes, but it's a cartridge style. So when you build this whole thing up with all the accessories, and if this thing were to ever need to be refreshed, then you just align the pulley to the bolts, zip it off, put a new one in. It's that simple. So it's a cartridge style. So
that way you're not stuck with having to replace the whole thing. Exactly. We actually developed a water pump that will pop out of there, and it makes it real easy to replace.
Exactly.
So, all right, let's talk about some of the other pieces.
Okay, well, let's start with the AC compressor. This is a Sandin OE manufactured compressor. It's as good as they get. This is the little SD7. It's very popular in aftermarket. It's a great piece. It's very high RPM friendly. In these new engines, 6500 is standard red line, but we push that. And these accessories, you've got to have solid accessories to be able to tolerate those higher RPMs. And this piece is that tolerant piece when you compare it to other AC pieces.
Yeah, I know you spent a lot of time on the alternator as well, and this is a really nice looking piece that you've spent a lot of time on. So let's talk about this a little bit, Coy. What's different about this alternator to work with this kit and things like that?
All right. This is a Holley alternator. We developed this housing, and the internals are very advanced technical component system. Some of that is the square wire hairpin technology built into it. It's 6-phase instead of 3-phase. And all that means you get cleaner power and you get more of it in a smaller size package. This alternator is available in natural, it's available in polish, and it's available in black, and it will fit every accessory drive Holley makes.
And ultimately, these kits are going to be offered in colors as well.
That's what I hear.
So,
so yes, and all of our accessory drives right now are on the shelf, I believe, in the black and the polish. So that's where these come into play. But this is your premium alternator, and it is it's actually high RPM capable. Again, these accessories were not meant to spin at the speeds that we're pushing them to.
The OE accessories weren't.
Right.
Yes,
But
so.
this is a Holley piece, and it is high RPM tolerant, and it'll fit right into these high performance vehicles that we have.
What kind of amps does that put out?
Good point. This is a small case. It does 150 amps maximum output. It does over 100 amps at idle, and that is actually
designed to work really good with a lot of aftermarket ECUs, fans, fuel pumps, anything that you have to power in your car.
It actually puts out more than our large case option that we have right now. So this is the go-to alternator. It's the premium version, but it's the go-to if you can do it for anything. It comes with this kit.
One of the unique things about this is also where this post exits to work with this kit, right?
Yes.
So,
let's get to that on the swap features in a minute, though.
Okay,
if that's okay.
That's fine.
Okay, we got our power steering pump. This is the standard Type 2 that all the aftermarket's used to. It's a good solid piece. It also tolerates good RPMs very well.
And the reservoir?
And an integrated reservoir with baffles inside of it. Baffled system there. Let's just hit the high points across what all comes with these kits. This is complete. It's complete to the extreme level. So gaskets and the thermostat housing. We even include the hard line for the power steering pump to -6 AN. Pulley covers, pulleys, tensioner. We even include the alternator harness. All the plumbing adapters, which we'll get to also in a minute on the swap. Hardware. I got to mention my hardware. We take a lot of pride in the details of our accessory drives, and this is unusual and very difficult to source, but this finish on these bolts is the exact same finish that's on all the factory LS bolts, and we match that. So when this system's on there, there's no brackets, it's not adapted, it looks like it came on this engine.
It's not standard hardware store stuff. It's going to look like an OE installation.
It sure is. Belt, like I said, pretty much everything you could need for this accessory drive is here. Let's talk a little bit about the crank pulley and the damper. This is our premium system that we're kind of talking about here. There's this one, and then there's a base model that is also available today. The premium comes with an ATI 7-inch damper and a hard coat billet aluminum crank pulley. That's kind of the big difference between this and the base kit. The base kit also doesn't come with all the pulley covers, but that's the only real difference. And that base kit is a deal.
So the base kit comes with more like an OE style damper?
It comes with, that's exactly right. It comes with an OE style. It looks almost identical to the one that came on the LS that you're working with.
So your choices in this are basically you can choose the premium, and with the premium you get the nicer damper and you get some pulley covers and things like that, or you choose the base model, and the base model comes with an OE style and no covers.
It's a nice damper too. It's actually a little bit improved on beyond even the OE, so it's a good solid good looking piece. Now, and if you want the covers, they're all available separately, so you can just add what you want.
So this is a lot of stuff sitting here, so let's talk about installation for a minute, and your instructions and stuff. So how hard is this thing to install?
Well, we spend a lot of time on our accessory drive instruction sheets, if anybody out there is familiar with that. We use color graphics and step-by-step processes.
So it lays out all the parts that come in a kit with nice graphics here.
And replacement parts are all listed right there. And then you can see step by step how to start putting this thing together. It gives you options on how to install it. It gives you helpful hints through the whole process. But it is a very, very simple assembly. Every single step was looked at from day one on how to make this thing go.
It's got all your belt routings in here, and
yeah, it is very straightforward. And there are supplemental instruction sheets even on other little components, but we made sure everything fell together to where there's nothing weird, like you've got to hold this here and slide that bolt through there. Everything clears and everything goes right on. But keep in mind, there are no brackets, there are no adapters, there's not a single spacer on this product.
so it's very realistic for somebody to take everything out of the box, assemble it all themselves, install it right in their garage or in their driveway.
You don't have to have 3 hands to hold, 5 parts to put this thing together. It goes together like it was intended to if you built the whole thing up from the factory.
Okay. So let's talk about applications and what kind of stuff this fits in. We have a vehicle here with it today. Let's go over here and just kind of take a look and talk about what kind of cars this will fit in. So right now, obviously, this is a square body C10 truck, and this is actually one of our employees' vehicles. So he's actually installed one of our units, and so here it is installed in a truck. Coy, let's talk about clearance places and things like that. What else this will fit into?
Okay. As far as what these 2 part numbers that we're talking about today fit, they fit LS. They fit all LSs except for dry sump, which would be your LS7, and your supercharged applications. We don't have that with this one. Everything else it works on. 5.3s, LS1, LS2, LS3, all the truck engines, everything. This is your LS application. Bolt right on.
Okay. As far as chassis and stuff, what kind of accommodations did you make to make this fit and made chassis as possible?
Certainly, we pulled everything, the bottom of the product in and up, so that it clears the frame rails and the suspension. Honestly, to date, we've not found anything that it doesn't clear. As far as, Holley's got their favorite cars that we always go to as far as making sure it clears, and we put that in pretty much all of them. So it's pretty much a fit all. There, certainly maybe something out there. I'm certain there is, but it really, it really.
So really, you took into consideration that we need things tight. We need clearance down below for the fuel rails. What about like radiator hoses and stuff?
Okay. Well, we've got a lot of options. Let's just start through the swap features. Now, I'm gonna start on this side over here, and we'll just go through them. Holley is one of our highest priorities with our LS products is to make everything as swap friendly as we possibly can. It's very important to us, and we spend a lot of time doing that. On this product, it's no different. We worked on it from day one, but if you look over here, this is kind of the junction center right here, and you'll notice it's low and it's behind, kind of out of sight, but at the same time, there's plenty of room around each one of these to work. So you got your charge wire for your alternator, drops right down here. You got your harness connection for your alternator here. You got your pressure side line here for your power steering pump, and your returns right over here. So everything's pulled in right around to the side, and
So
that's
it
by
kind of
design.
makes for a real nice clean installation of all those plumbing and electrical connections.
That is by design. Now, moving across the top, this is one of my favorites, and it's so simple, I get that, but LS outlet neck connectors here for the radiator hose are about this long usually.
From the OE ones?
Yeah, the OEs. And actually all aftermarkets, if you look, there's pretty much that way. Well, there's really no need for that, and what that does, I've seen some of the nicest show cars that they're tight quarters, and the radiator hose will almost kink on that first bend because that's the best they could do. Well, we pulled that back further, so that allows just that much more room to wrap that radiator hose on around. It's just little things like that. Now, back here, you'll notice there's a inlet port on the back for the LS steam tube. That way you don't have to run that hose all the way across the top of the radiator hose all the way to your radiator.
So we've already got this drilled and tapped down in here.
Yes.
So it's already drilled and tapped. Does it come with a plug if you decide not to do that? So
It sure
so
does.
it's your choice. You can either put a plug there, or that can hook
See
right
that?
to your steam tube.
This is the way we routed it on this engine right here, was over from there over to.
So it just simplifies installation for
Well,
everybody.
it
So
simplifies it, but it also makes it cleaner. I'm all about making this stuff just cosmetically cleaner. You want to see very few people like seeing wires and seeing hoses.
Right, right.
So, moving on around. Now, this is my favorite. To my knowledge, never been done before, but in certain applications, I know C3 Corvettes are one. There are several others that the original equipment GM heater hose outlet location runs right into the swap application, and it's a real struggle.
Frame rails, suspension parts, whatever. They stick right out the side here. So what have we done for that?
We've got ports on the bottom staggered here to give you an option to come out the bottom. It's also cosmetically cleaner, but you can pick either option. It comes with plugs for the other ones, and then
so the kit comes with both the ports and the plugs, so you just put them where you want.
Right.
Could you run one way and one
You
the
sure
other?
could, yeah, as long as you didn't shuffle the wrong locations.
Sure,
Absolutely.
sure. So you could mix and match it around a little bit.
Now, even to take that to the next level, Earl's Plumbing is releasing swivel connectors here that rotate, so you can even take that to the next level. And Mr. Gasket right now has a swivel thermostat housing right there.
So you can unbolt this thermostat housing, but those don't
come with it.
Okay,
but they're available if you need that to make this thing that much more swap friendly.
Okay. So I think that's pretty much everything. Do you want to talk about some of the covers that come with the premium kit?
Yes. You know, we still maintain that OE look. It's kind of original equipment look. It's kind of the Holley thing. But we did go ahead and do some simple all billet aluminum anodized, black anodized covers. We've got the alternator cover, and then got a nice clean simplified compressor cover, and then the tensioner cover right there. So we've got those, and it just cleans the package up a little bit, but it looks good without them as well.
Okay, so that's pretty much it on this. This is a complete bolt-on, highly engineered mid-mount accessory drive kit that works awesome for swap applications and a lot of other applications. So this thing comes as a complete, ready-to-go kit with instructions, easy to install. So there's your instruction book again with some of the part numbers. Pricing on this thing, they range depending on if you do the base kit or the premium kit. The base kits are right around $17.99, and the premium kits I think are $23.99. So, and then from there you can choose colors and polish.
That base kit is approaching half of what some of the other kits that are out there. It's a real good deal.
And for most applications, that's going to be just fine, unless you want some of the dress-up stuff and the better damper.
Right. Yep.
So. All right, well, thanks everybody for taking a minute to check out our stuff here. We love what we do here, and it's a lot of fun, and have a great day.